June is officially here, and for the games industry, this usually means that releases get pretty quiet, because we've got summer showcases, Steam Next Fest, and a bunch of other sunny weather events, so people don't want to release their game when nobody's around to play them. And until this past week, June was looking pretty quiet. But luckily, I've got 12 awesome indie games that you can look forward to playing this month. From a cozy Frog Oasis game to some of the spookiest I've seen in my life. That's mainly because it's on an oil rig in the middle of the ocean, and I am deathly afraid of open water, but we won't unpack my insecurities right now. Now, before we get started, please do me a favor and like the video so I can continue to show you guys awesome games that you probably haven't heard of yet. Now, let's take a look at the upcoming games that you can play during the month of June. First up, we have Rolling Hills, Make Sushi, Make Friends. This charming life sim puts you in the shoes of a robot chef running a sushi restaurant in a cozy village. You'll be preparing delicious sushi, customizing your restaurant, and building friendships with quirky villagers. This delightful game is all about community and creativity. Rolling Hills combines restaurant management with community interaction. Your goals include making sushi, expanding your recipe repertoire, purchasing ingredients, and enhancing your shop. The game also has an emphasis on building relationships with your villagers and contributing to the community's well-being. Once you collect new recipes and source fresh ingredients to become a master sushi chef, you'll build friendships with the town's residents and help them with their daily tasks. When the shop starts to look a little too samey, you can customize your restaurant with decorations and upgrades to improve its appeal and efficiency. And when you've got some time to yourself, you can engage in various activities like fishing, gardening, and participating in community events. Now, I was trying to come up with a good cooking pun for this one, but it's all about raw fish, so that doesn't really make any sense. So, I'll just say Rolling Hills releases on Steam starting on June 4th, so be ready to start your month off strong. Sneak Out is a stealth-based multiplayer game that immerses players in a thrilling yet goofy escape adventure. Up to 6 players will drop into this spooky abandoned mansion, where one of you will be randomly chosen to become the hunter. And for the rest of you, this is about to become the prankiest game of hide and seek you've ever played. The hiders must complete tasks and avoid the hunter using stealth tactics, traps, and clever hiding spots around them. And you can also prank your own teammates if you're truly feeling maniacal and devious today. But don't worry, your soon-to-be ended friendship isn't entirely in vain. Once you get caught and turn into a ghost, you can still cause mischief for the players still in the game. And as the hunter, you basically just get a dope-ass scythe to run around with and send the souls of the hiders to the afterlife before they can complete their tasks and escape through the big glowy portal. And yes, because I know some of you are going to ask, this game is free to play, so you and your friends can jump in at no cost. Now, turn around and count to 100, because Sneak Out drops on Steam starting on June 6th. Here's one for the gang who likes their challenging 2D platformers. This is Dragon is Dead. Dragon is Dead is a side-scrolling roguelike action platformer that'll offer a ton of customizable skill trees and legendary equipment. The game immerses players in a dark fantasy world where they must confront Gurnian, the malevolent leader of the Dark Dragons, who is corrupting the world after the fall of his own kind at the hand of the gods. You'll take on the role of the Dragon Slayer, battling twisted monsters and formidable foes created by Gurnian. The game features a diverse set of skills, equipment, and Dragon Tongue runes that amplify abilities. With over 180 artifacts, hundreds of equipment pieces, 30 legendary items, and various synergies to discover, players can get super deep with customizing their character builds. Plus, your equipment and runes retain their power even after a player's death, allowing for continued progression and customization, while your artifacts and equipment combinations create synergies that can significantly enhance your player abilities. My buddy Chris RV2 talked about this game after we went to PAX earlier this year. What do you think, Chris?
So one of the games I've been playing a lot recently is Dead Cells, and one of the games I absolutely love and adore that everybody else hates is Dark Souls. So it's like you take the mix of both of them, put them together, and this is the beautiful world we got, because like we got like that dark fantasy, we got that combat that feels very familiar, and I'm so glad I started playing more Metroidvanias.
Thanks, dude. That was insightful. Dragon is Dead will be launching in early access starting on June 7th for Steam, including 8 chapters, 2 playable heroes, and a variety of challenges to take on. Okay, how about we talk about something a little bit cozier, shall we? If you've ever wanted to run your very own frog sanctuary, then Kamaeru, a frog refuge, is the game you need. This upcoming cozy farm sim is centered around fostering a sanctuary for frogs and restoring the biodiversity of the wetlands. Players take on the role of a character helping an old friend revive the wetlands of their childhood. The core gameplay focuses on collecting, feeding, breeding, and raising over 1,000 different frogs. Players can unlock rare frog colors through a special breeding minigame and use an in-game camera to photograph and catalog their collection in their froggy decks. Restoring the wetlands is a key aspect of the game. Players will dig ponds, plant native species, and engage in, paludiculture? Man, I don't know. Let's say watering the ground science to create a thriving habitat. The harvested crops can be transformed into goods that can then be sold to further improve your frog refuge. Decorate your habitat with various items and furniture so you can attract different breeds of frogs. And the furniture will draw visitors to your refuge, enhancing the overall experience. Kamaeru, a frog refuge, releases on Steam, Switch, and Xbox consoles starting on June 8th. Here's a game that I didn't know was coming out until I sat down to script this video, but it is one of my first ever Steam Next Fest experiences. Welcome to Tracks of Thought. In this unique personality-driven RPG, you play as this adorable little ladybug on a train whose passengers, including yourself, are afflicted with amnesia. As you traverse the train, you interact with various characters through conversation and card-based battles, designed to resolve conflict and uncover the train's mysterious destination. The game's core mechanics revolve around your personality, shaping your interactions, and the resolution of conflict. Your choices and dialogue shape the story, making it a personal journey of self-discovery and communication. All of that to say, it is a bunch of cute characters talking to each other and solving their problems. The way you choose to carry yourself and the personality that you share influences your deck and how you interact with other characters. Tracks of Thought is designed to emphasize empathy, communication, and the importance of understanding different perspectives. All traits that I think a lot of us could really use right now. And this train will be departing soon because Tracks of Thought releases on Steam starting on June 10th. Explore the countryside of Japan as you help uncover lost mysteries in Sunnyside. After being delayed by a few weeks, Sunnyside is preparing to finally be released. This upcoming farming and life sim offers a unique blend of traditional Japanese countryside living with modern farming technology, presenting a fresh take on the genre. Begin by purchasing your first plot of land in a quaint Japanese town. Now it's time to build a thriving homestead, cultivate crops, care for animals, and engage with the local community. The game features a rich anime-inspired cast of characters and emphasizes building relationships, with over 25 different characters to meet and interact with. Players can utilize solar panels, electrical water pumps, and advanced machines to streamline their farming activities, allowing for a more balanced and less tedious gameplay experience. Sunnyside has always been one of those games that's fallen out of my indie game blinders, but I see a lot of my mutuals talking about it and getting excited. So if you're about that farming sim life, you can check out Sunnyside when it releases on Steam starting on June 14th. Don't worry, PlayStation and Xbox players, they're working on a release for you guys down the line as well. Tradesman Deal to Dealer is a strategy and simulation game where you play as a traveling tradesman. The game begins in the tradesman's hometown of Grahamstead, from which you set off on a journey to various towns and villages pulled by your trusty horse. The gameplay involves buying and selling goods, protecting your wares, and completing quests. Explore different regions with varying environments, then purchase items and sell essential items in places like Hoboken. Complete tasks to progress the story and gain rewards while you defend yourself from threats and hire mercenaries to aid you in battle. The game is currently in early access, meaning it's still in development and receiving updates based on player feedback, but Tradesman Deal to Dealer is set to release officially in version 1.0 starting on June 18th for Steam. Are you ready for what will easily be the best vampire hunting game in years? Now, I know the bar is really not that high, but Hashtag Blood is shaping up to be an instant classic. In this animated dungeon crawler, you play as Becky Brewster, a freshman at Carpentersville High and a descendant of an ancient line of vampire hunters. Becky must navigate the challenges of high school life while battling a vampire apocalypse. The game features various environments like high school halls, shopping malls, and local parks, where Becky uses her field hockey stick and magical skills to fight off mutated animals and vampirically possessed townsfolk. Engage in dynamic battles against a variety of undead enemies and epic bosses, complete missions and track down evil through the town's social media, and research demonic forces using a combination of modern technology and ancient grimoires. Exit 73 Studios has worked on a lot of projects over the years. None that are necessarily the biggest household names, but I can feel that Hashtag Blood is going to be an absolute banger. You can jump into this vampiric onslaught when Hashtag Blood releases on Steam, Switch, PlayStation, and Xbox starting on June 18th. Okay. I'll talk about the Scary Water game now. This is Still Wakes the Deep, a first-person narrative horror game that takes place on the Buera D, an old oil rig off the coast of Scotland in 1975. Players control Kaz McCleary, a working-class ex-boxer who must navigate the collapsing rig to save his crew from a mysterious otherworldly threat. Still Wakes the Deep emphasizes survival and exploration over combat, while this mysterious otherworldly horror threatens your crew. With no weapons, you must navigate the collapsing rig, solve puzzles, and avoid the dangers to save your crew and yourself. The narrative on Still Wakes the Deep focuses on themes of isolation and claustrophobia, so even more things to be excited about. Yippee! Drawing inspiration from a variety of sources including the film The Thing, the development team consulted extensively with former oil rig workers and used authentic Scottish voice actors to enhance the realism and immersion. And even though I'm sure this one will scar me for life, I'm probably still gonna play it. Still Wakes the Deep releases on Steam, PlayStation, and Xbox, including Xbox Game Pass, starting on June 18th. For fans of the Coffee Talk franchise, here's another series that puts a little bit more Dungeons & Dragons into your cup. This is Tavern Talk. In this casual strategy game, you'll take on the role of a tavern owner, who must manage their establishment by serving customers, hiring staff, expanding the tavern, and keeping patrons happy. Once a customer comes in and tells you about their life, their next mission, the crazy fight they got involved with across the street, you'll use that information to brew the perfect drink for them. Knowing that knowledge, you'll combine an assortment of potions and unknown concoctions to provide different stat boosts. And don't worry, if you screw it up, the bottomless pit known as Ondu the Dragon will drink anything, and somehow not let it affect him? Crazy little guy. But once you get that recipe right and they finish swigging that liquid courage, out the door they go. And now you get to move on to the next customer. But not before taking any and all of the local gossip that they just told you about and turning that into a new quest for your next customer to accept. Now, I've gotten the chance to play the demo for this one ahead of Steam Next Fest, and I gotta tell ya, I'm hooked. The characters you'll meet along the way are so lively, from a shy and quiet elf girl to a loud and proud wolf lady who I don't think actually likes being called a wolf very much. Tavern Talk releases on Steam starting on June 20th, so if your D&D party cancels on you again, you've got a backup plan for sure this time. Extra, extra, read all about it. Adorable little robot dude writes for the local paper. Welcome to Times and Galaxy, a point-and-click detective adventure where you need to get the next big scoop. You are the first robot reporter for the Times and Galaxy, the solar system's most trusted holo paper. Right now, you're just an intern, but play your cards right, write amazing stories and impress your colleagues, and you might just get the job. In an effort to get the promotion that you're looking for, you'll have to get the dirtiest dirt you can find. Go to each site and interview everyone that you can. Get their side of the story and see how these predicaments affect them. Now it's time to make the headlines. Use the information that you've gathered and create the article that'll get readers clamoring for your article. But you've got to craft it just right, because we all know the attention span of the average person isn't great these days. So imagine how bad it's going to be in the future. Choose the right headline, key quotes, and nut graphs to make the best damn article that you can. Then print it and work up the corporate ladder. But seriously, what the hell is a nut graph? I've been asking this for months and nobody can seem to tell me what it is. I'm starting to think that it's fake. You can hop into Times and Galaxy when it releases on Steam starting on June 21st. Now, I just told you guys about this game last month, but it got delayed. So how about I just tell you about it again? Are you ready for a pixel art visual novel that's probably gonna make you cry? Don't worry, we all can use a little cry from time to time, and until then is the way to do it. After a fateful meeting sets off a chain reaction, Mark's whole life is uprooted, making people disappear and memories unreliable. Mark and his friends are starting yet another ordinary year of high school that's not gonna be so ordinary in a minute. Play out your own adventure as you text and email your friends, scroll through social media on the train, and discover new things about the people and the world around you. Until Then gives me the vibes of a slice of life anime that isn't chock full of action or combat, but every time you have a deep conversation with your friend, you're gonna need a box of tissues. But you can always cheer yourself up with some fun mini games like playing the piano or inserting a flash drive into a computer. Yeah, it's unique, alright. Get ready to feel something deep down inside when Until Then releases on Steam starting on June 25th. And there you have it, 12 upcoming indie games that you can play this June. Be sure to let me know in the comments if I missed any of your most anticipated games for this month. And if any of these games seem interesting to you, be sure to go look them up on Steam and add them to your wish list so you can try and get some of those sweet launch day discounts. Now, if you'll excuse me, Steam Next Fest is right around the corner and I need to go prepared to do nothing but play indie demos. So thanks for watching, be sure to subscribe for more indie gaming content.